To be demonstrating to you two methods in which we can separate an insoluble solid from a liquid. Now the insoluble solid that I'm using this morning is the sand. So I have two containers of sand. I have a jar here with, I'm trying to improvise. I have a jar here with a piece of marina cloth that I have used elastic band to tighten around this jug. I have water and I have a glass right here and a spoon. Now, two methods in which we can separate mixtures from an insoluble solid is by filtration and decanting. Now, the first one I'm going to demonstrate for you is decanting. Now, what is that all about? Decanting involves us using a liquid, as mentioned before, and an insoluble solid, which is the sand. Now, what I'm going to do at this moment, I'm going to take some of the sand and I'm going to place it in the glass right here. So the sand represents the insoluble solid. Why do we say it is insoluble? Because when sand is mixed with a liquid, it does not dissolve. So any solid, when mixed with a liquid and does not dissolve, we call it insoluble. So I have my sand here in this glass. The next thing I'm going to be doing is pouring water from this jug into the glass. Now look closely at what is happening. I'm going to mix them around. So I'm mixing and I'm mixing. What do you notice? The sand is going around, but it is not dissolving. It is going around with the liquid, but it is not dissolving. Now, when we talk about decanting, when we mix a liquid with an insoluble solid, what we do is that we leave it for a while unmolested. That simply means we will just put it in an area where no one troubles it. So I'm going to put it over on this side in this area and leave it for a while. Now the next method I am going to demonstrate to you is filtration. Once again, I am going to be mixing sand into a container. Sand along with water. Sand along with water. So I have my sand here again, and I place 3 spoonful of sand in the container. Next thing, I am going to add water to the container. I add my water to the container and I mix my sand and water. Remember, we are trying to separate. We are trying to separate the liquid from the solid. So I'm mixing it, mixing, and mixing. Now for filtration, there's a special type of paper that is always used, a filter paper. But due to circumstances beyond my control, I do not have filter paper. So I'm going to improvise with this. So after I've mixed my sand and my water together, I am going to use this to filter the sand and the water. After filtration, what you should see is a separation. You'll have the water in the jar and the sand should remain on top of the material that I have used. So I'm pouring my water or my mixture into the jar. Notice that what is coming out into the jar is just the liquid. If you notice on top here, what you find that's happening is that the insoluble material, which is the sand, remains in the filtered material. Do we notice that? So all the sand has remained in the filtered material. Just going to use a spoon here to get rid of some of the sand that is there. Notice, so most of the sand has been taken out from the container, and what we have is the sand settling on the filtered material, or the material used to filter, and the water remains here. So this is the filtration method, which is one method of separating insoluble solid from the mixture. Now remember I said to you earlier that with decanting, both the liquid and the solid are mixed together and it is left unmolested. Now in the interest of time, this is what it is looking like now. But in the interest of time, I will show you what the end product looks like. Now if you should compare both of them, you would have realized that the liquid in this container is much lighter than this one. And it all has to do with the fact that this one was left unmolested for a while. So nobody touched it or anything. Now, how do we filter? How do we separate now with this method? So we can simply take our time and we pour the water from this container. Take our time and we pour the water from this container. And what you have now is a separation taking place. So what you have is a separation taking place. So you have one container, one glass, which contains the sand by itself, and the other glass, which contains the liquid by itself. I trust and hope that you have learned something from this demonstration, and you can also feel free, with your parents' permission, to try this at home. Have a good day.